You give it out your own without again coming back to me to negotiate. At what is, when I claim, I'll definitely claim what the price I supplied at. True. If you don't give me, I'll take you to court. So I don't think it will be possible for those ones who are overpaid for the government to go back to them and say we overpaid you. Because this is a price they negotiated, they signed for it. And on the same note...
But I have to remind you, Honorable Wanjala, those negotiations and everything else was illegal.
There is a free market.
And
if it's
no, actually, it is illegal. That is the reason why the SG has been very clear. Honorable members, I want us to be very, very clear. What the SG has said is that an illegality cannot be made legal. However, he has gone ahead and given an example of a court ruling that in the event a service has been rendered, the criminality part of it remains as a criminal case. That one continues. However, the civil part of it, which is now issues to do with the payment, that one now is where he said there is the quantum merit. There are two differences here. You can still be able, the court and the law allows, in fact, laws are made, one of the ways that laws are made is through such pronunciations of the courts as well. Pronouncements of the court. So one of the things that is there is that it can be done since the process was illegal. Had the process been done legal and the price was way high, no one can be able to change that price. However, considering the process was done illegally, then, and this is a suggestion that Honorable Kajwang has given, the SG is actually, and I personally feel that might be the way, because we are in a situation that has never been seen before. I have never come across an issue like this where such blatant, and then at the same time, these items had to be used in the hospitals. So,
Mr. Chairman, I told you this country has been messed up by courts. So whatever you are saying, still people just go to court and bribe and get their way. Our problem in this country starts with the court. Mr. Chairman, now. Ignorance of law.
Ombudsman,
Ignorance of law
is.
Huh? Sorry? Ignorance of law.
Yes, it's not an excuse.
An excuse. These two people, the supplier and the management, who is going to be held responsible or with the criminality or whatever, yet at a certain stage they agreed on how much to be paid because they supplied. What wrong will have been committed if they are paid? So who will be held, who will be charged in this case? That is, he has made a mistake, yet you agreed to pay.
All right, I think the law is very, very clear. In fact, the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act is actually also very, very clear. We are guided by the law, and in fact, the SG has been, in his response, he quoted some. But I think now, if we're going to that, we will go into very many details. The Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act is very detailed. In fact, it even goes ahead. We went ahead. And I think very, very recently, some of these regulations have also been gazetted. So there is no loophole in that part that an illegality is an illegality. But we will definitely have to put our heads together. And right now, our role is to get everyone's views. Then thereafter, we now make a proper decision. SG, is there something else you want to add? Okay, I think what Honorable Kajwang had requested for was the ruling that you quoted, and this is the one for Royal Media.
Yes.
It is just for our own consumption, and I think over and above that as well, I will instruct our clerks to provide to you. You have indicated in your response that you've not seen even how the procurement were done. I'll give you samples of a number of these procurements, so you will go ahead and give from the way these letters were drafted, that they can be able to supply, to the commitment letters, to now. In fact, some of these things, the way they were done, even the technical evaluation of the items were done after they've already been supplied and were about to be paid is when some of these things were done. So we will provide all this to you. You don't have to go through all of them, 102 companies, because they were all identical.
Now, earlier on, the Solicitor General, Kennedy Gotv, appeared before the Public Investments Committee for the compliance of the law on the majority of companies which procured with KEMSA. Gotv stated that he has not been provided with copies of the contracts for the review and that any recommendations on illegal contracts pertaining KEMSA, he said that he will need proper documents to determine that information. Now, moving on, women leaders are benchmarking the national government Affirmative Action Fund project and program in Mombasa County. Mombasa County projects under that affirmative action were voted the best in the country. Mariam Wacharo has been covering that for us and now joins us from Mombasa. Mariam, what are some of these projects?
Well, thank you very much, Muthoni Maina, from our studios in Nairobi. I'm definitely here in Mombasa County, Changamwe constituency, where we had with us the women representative in Nairobi, Esther Passaris, who is actually today visiting Mombasa County, different constituencies, to see how the National Government Affirmative Action Fund is being used vis-a-vis the Nairobi County constituencies. And I say vis-a-vis here, Muthoni Maina, because according to Esther Passaris, Nairobi County has actually made major strides, and other counties as well, in these particular national government affirmative action funds with the members of the communities and different circles. So yesterday she was in Kwale County, where she met Mama County, Kwale County, Zulekha Hassan, where she saw different projects that had been started thanks to the National Government Affirmative Action Fund. And she talked of a water project as well as a tank and a water tanker that had been brought, and a drilling of a borehole for the members of the community, as well as a dairy plant for the farmers in Kwale County, so that they can actually be able to sell the excess milk that they remain with from the farms. And today she was in Mombasa County here in Changamwe constituency earlier, and later on she moved to Kisauni area, and here she just wanted to see how the fund is being used. And she did encourage a lot of the youth to actually join SACCOs and different organizations and small groups, so that they can get this government fund in order to realize development. So without further ado, let's listen in on what Nairobi Women Representative Esther Passaris had to say about the National Government Affirmative Action Fund earlier.
Okay, kitu ya kwanza nataka kushukuru mheshimiwa wa hii area na pia Mama County kwa kutukaribisha. Na tunataka kusema sisi kama Ngaf Nairobi tumefika Coast Region. Jana tulikuwa Kwale, tukakaribishwa na Mama Zulekha, tukaona projects mbili ambao wamefanya, ambao tuliona kweli inasaidia watu wa hapo, na vile wanaeleza hizo project. Kuna moja ya seedling, walipatia 2 tank ya maji na wakadig well. Sasa hao vijana ambao wanafanya hiyo kazi na wamama wanatendeza hizi seedlings za mnazi. Na hiyo seedlings za mnazi washauza 3,000 na wanatarajia kwenda mpaka 20,000. Alafu itasaidia mafamili mengi. Alafu juu yake pia wametendeza mini dairy ambao wameka machines ambao bado haijakuwa commissioned. Hizi machines ni 3.5 million. Hiyo pesa ya hiyo project itahakikisha kuwa wale watu ambao wako na ng'ombe na wakiwa na maziwa ambayo ni zaidi wanaweza kuuza kwa hiyo mini dairy, alafu wanaweza kutendeza yogurt au maziwa. So hiyo itasaidia watu. Na sasa hapa ambapo tumekuja, unajua hii mambo ya sako, watu wengi hawako serious. Na wale ambao wako serious wanaonesha kwa kweli wanaweza kutendeza pesa kwa hiyo magroups. So officials lazima wawe ambao wamejifunza vizuri vile hiyo pesa ya sako zikiwekwa pamoja. Hii group ambao tumeiona leo Changamwe Maendeleo Sako, tumeona pia wameunda ingine ya maboda bodas. Sasa sisi tunataka kusema kama sisi tumekuja hapa ku benchmark.
Well, Muthoni Maina, as you've heard it from the Women Representative Nairobi County, Esther Passaris, she did also say that it was important to do a particular program that is actually being practiced in the United States right now, where they say they're actually sistering different cities. Now here in Kenya, she's actually sistering different counties with projects from different women representatives, starting with Nairobi, Kwale, Mombasa County, as she heads on to Kilifi. So that's what happened earlier on with the Nairobi women representative. Definitely I'll be updating you later on more that she did talk about on the project as well as the BBI report later on in the subsequent bulletins. Muthoni Maina.
Thank you so much, Mariam, for that. I can say that there were some good strides there and also some great innovative developments in Changamwe. Now, moving on, a local administrator in Baringo North has been accused of vandalizing water pipes which were meant to solve water problems in the community over what is termed to be a long-standing clan feud. Isaac Chemdor, the location chief, is suspected to be the one behind the cutting of over 8 water pipes which were connecting water to a section of residents in his location. According to the residents, this is the third time the pipes are being destroyed and they have spent huge amount of cash in repairs.
Na hawakufanyia chochote. Hii serikali itafanyia sisi namna gani? Na tunasikia kila siku watu wanasema mkono ya serikali ni mrefu na serikali iko na kisu ile kali pande hii na hii serikali imekaa namna gani na wachizi tabu namna hii.
Tunataka kunywa maji akakuja kukata yetu tena. Kwa hivyo mimi nastumu ofisa ya serikali, kama yeye anahusika kukata mali ya serikali, yeye anafanya kazi gani? Yeye anakula mshahara ya nini? Tunaomba mpaka kwa DC atuangalie, kwa sababu hao wamama wenye wako hapa wasi, kuna wasi ambaye hapana piga ile mto ile iko huko.
Now, the government has released 14.9 billion Kenya shillings to facilitate school feeding programs for all students. Government spokesman Cyrus Oguna says the government has ensured that all pupils will get food through the program. Oguna also defended the BBI report by calling on Kenyans to read and understand the document. Oguna was speaking in Voi when he visited Mwatate COVID-19 ICU bed unit and Voi County referral facility inspecting government projects.
Ni kushukuru wazazi kuweza kuhakikisha kwamba masomo yanaendelea. Serikali imetoa shilingi bilioni 14.9 ya kuweza kusaidia masomo kwa shule. Hiyo itasaidia tu, pia itasaidia kuhakikisha kwamba zile kanuni za COVID zimefuatwa. Yaani maji ya maji yapo, wale watoto hawana barakoa wanapewa barakoa, wale hawezi afford barakoa wanapewa barakoa. Asili serikali ina nia na lengo kwamba wauguzi wote pamoja na clinical officers wote wawe kazini. Tunakuwa na matatizo ya kiusalama. Watu wanabumburushwa kutoka nyumbani kwao, biashara zinachomwa, watu wanauawa, maisha yanakatishwa, yanapotezwa. Ya BBI, lazima tuangazie BBI kwa makini zaidi kama itatuletea amani. Na mimi nasema kila wakati, iwapo unafanya biashara yako, kwa mfano tu, na hiyo biashara yako unawekeza shilingi bilioni 1, alafu kisha baadaye unapata bilioni 100, kwa kweli ni biashara nzuri. Nasema hivyo kwa sababu gani? Kwa sababu kuna baadhi ya wale ambao wanasema kwamba hii BBI ikipitishwa gharama itakuwa kubwa sana, tunapolipa wabunge ambao watakuwa wameongezeka, tunapolipa senators ambao watakuwa wameongezeka. Iwe sawa, itakuwa imeongezeka, lakini tutakuwa tumesave kitu gani ili amani iwepo? Hiyo ndio gharama ya amani.
Now that story takes us for a short break. Please do send us your feedback on at TV47 Kenya across all social media platforms.
Agriculture being the engine of economic growth in Kenya. Richer Fields aims to educate, entertain, and take you round the world of rich fields when it comes to matters agriculture and agribusiness.
It's 800 shillings per kg. Where? Almost 100% profit.
We take you to the world of organic living.
Some people say organic is boring. It's actually not boring.
Strawberry farming and so much more. Richer Fields coming soon on TV 47. On the grind, we bring you different entrepreneurs who give the story of their businesses with love and passion.
I'm a musician forever. This is something that is inborn.
It excites me each day. It's a field that has always excited me.
Because when you show love to your business, it will show love to you.
The most rewarding bit of being a photographer is seeing a bride able to see her images of her wedding and evoke emotion in her and just relive the moment once again.
Get to hear these stories and so much more every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Pain, discomfort, and sleepless nights. These are just but a few of the things we go through on a daily that deteriorate our health. Body Garage is here to remind you on how to love and care for your body's health.
Finding our balance. Don't worry, you'll fully come back again.
Self-care and love is the best gift you can give. Tune in every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. On Coffee with Movie, we bring you great testimonies from amazing personalities.
Wa kwanza alikaa ndani ilikuwa intense because alikuwa yalikuwa atafuta place atawaka afanye thesis zake.
Stories that will inspire and encourage you.
Hezron Obiero saying, watching live from Kakelo Pondo School. There's Paul Ngogel says he's live from Kitale, and there's Mariam says watching, and she's tuned in. Thank you, Mariam. And there's also Mark who says watching from Wagusu, Bondo, Siaya County. Thank you for that. Now, moving on, nominated Member of Parliament David Ole Sankok has issued a 14-day ultimatum to the Inspector General of Police Hilary Mutyambai to impound a speeding motorcade allegedly belonging to a prominent politician in the background of political meetings at Sagana State Lodge in Nyeri County on Saturday that caused the death of one Christopher Nderito while on a wheelchair. Nderito is said to have been killed near his home along the Chaka-Sagana Road. Sankok has vowed to rally all disabled people in the country to hold demonstrations to demand for justice for one of their own if no action is taken against the perpetrators.
Between Chaka and Sagana, Christopher Nderito was knocked down by a politician convoy vehicles that was overlapping, na akamkuta tu akiwa kando kando ya barabara na wheelchair yake. Akagongwa, wheelchair ikaenda kando, yeye mwenyewe akakuwa katikati ya barabara, akapitiwa na gari zingine mbili. Lakini kwa sababu Wakenya wanafikiri watu walemavu sio binadamu, wanachukulia watu walemavu kama ni viumbe zingine tu ambao sio binadamu. Damu ya Nderito imemwagika na hakuna mtu anachukua hatua, ati ni kana kwamba tumemwaga damu ya panya ama paka. Hakuna binadamu ambao ni paka ama panya. I'm giving Inspector General of Police 14 days to make sure that those three vehicles, the one that knocked Nderito out of the wheelchair and the two that ran over Nderito, equally impounded, and the politician are face the law like any other person. They are not above the law. Even if you are running to a presidential meeting, you are not above the law. You are not above the law. Ashikwe na achukuliwe hatua. 14 days. Failure to which watu walemavu wote ambao wako kwa wheelchair wote itabidi tuamue twende kwa Inspector General of Police tuitisha haki yetu ama twende State House, kwa sababu
hao watu walikuwa wanakimbia, huyo mwanasiasa alikuwa anakimbia mkutano ya rais huko Sagana between Chuka sijui Chaka ama whatever and Sagana, that road. Hapo ndio Christopher Nderito alipoteza maisha yake.
Moving on, 3 vehicles belonging to Machakos County government were impounded by police on Maendeleo Chapchap Party's campaign trail. Police say the vehicles had been changed with their county registration numbers to private number plates. One number plate in the vehicles was identified to be from a crane combine harvester owned by Machakos County government. Other senatorial candidates in the March 18 by-elections have been raising concerns on lack of level grounds, urging IEBC to disqualify Maendeleo Chapchap candidature for using government resources in his campaigns.
Mimi nimepata jina na driver wa serikali. Muko na PF namba zenu. Muko na tumechukua namba zenu. Nimepeana namba yako simu. Sawa, no problem. Mimi ngoje tu. Then we will tutawaambia ile kitu tafadhali, sawa.
It is an electrical offense kutumia mali ya umma, kutumia mali ya serikali. Wafanyikazi wamelipwa na serikali yetu ya Machakos. Mafuta wanatumia bilu yetu ya Machakos. Hatuwezi kubali candidate moja anatumia mali ya umma. Na tumeandika barua. Sisi tumeandika chama yetu kama GDDP. Nafikiri zile chama zingine zote wameandisha statement. Tunapeleka kwa IB kesho. Tunapeleka copy kwa DCIO. Na tunataka kama vile katiba inasema huyo candidate akuwe disqualified kwa sababu ya kutumia mali ya umma. Na kama watafanya hivi tutaelekea High Court.
Asubuhi nitamuomba afisa wa polisi ambaye ako hapa aturuhusu twende na gari moja ama speakers twende tuhutubie wananchi, na tutakunywa mafuta mahali zilikunywa asubuhi pale kwa Gotv. Na naomba wale candidates wengine pia wakuje wachukue gari moja ama 2 waende wa campaign. Ndio iwe draw kwa kila mmoja.
Afisa wa polisi ambao ni wa check unit wameweza kugundia hizo gari na wakazifuata na wakazishika, wakazileta polisi. Tumeshangaa ya kwamba walipozishika madriver ama hao watu wamekuja hapa kutoa makaratasi ambao walikuwa wamebandika katika kwenye hizo magari. Ni ugaidi wa hali ya juu.
Now, more than 60,000 residents of Loitoktok, Kajiado County have been forced to wait until the end of Feb to access water for domestic use. This comes after the construction of the water project intended to boost water supply in the region failed to be completed in time. The situation was confirmed when Cabinet Secretaries Cecily Kariuki and Professor George Magoha visited the site, only to find the project barely complete, even after the assigned contractor claimed that it was 85% done. The contractor has now been put on notice to ensure the project is finalized before the end of the month, as it was delayed since 2017.
There is concern that this project has taken too long, given the initial contract period which was supposed to be less than 2 years. It is now running onto the 4th year. The instructions given by myself on behalf of my colleagues is that this project, in terms of timeline, extending, varying, adding more time, will not be acceptable. The contractor working with Earthy Water is therefore instructed to employ all strategies available to them to ensure that this project is complete within the timelines which they have given, which is no more than a month.
Moving on, East African Community and Regional Development CS Adan Mohammed led the inspection of the construction of the Western Bypass Road. The proposed bypass is set to open up several towns such as Gitaro, Wangige, Ndendero, and Ruaka. The CS confirmed that the construction is about 47% complete. The national government officers have been directed to be supervising ongoing government projects in a bid to enhance transparency and performance.
What we have seen is a mixed bag of things that are doing very well, like this project, where there's a significant amount of progress that has been made. We understand that the program is about 47% complete, which is not very far from the expected timeline. This road is going to open up, the business and transportation network across around Nairobi region.
It is not only good for us to be reading the reports, it's good also to feel what is happening in the ground.